Hi, my name's Holly Bridges. Welcome to my ART Express course. This is a basic course to give you a good grounding in what I'm up to with my work. You'll learn two of the exercises, as you've probably already worked out, and we go through the philosophy and the psychology to a point of w what this work can bring to people. Predominantly if we get it right. So the initial modules are, again, as you will have seen, about the history and then the science and an understanding of the body and how all of these things interact. Some of you may know this material already. It's not as new as it once was, 8 years ago or something when I created this course. However, I still find that there's a real nuance that a lot of people don't understand. And even if you know it, you want to come in just right with this work with people. We're very used to bossing the body around and we're very used to fixing people. So most of the vagus nerve kind of stuff in this world, I think, is still quite bossy, and it's getting the body back into snapping. When you're working with delicate systems, that's just not an option. And I actually don't think it's an option for any human being anyway. What we want to do is get a really good general understanding of the way that we think about the world and the way we think about people with delicate systems. And that includes bipolar, autism, schizophrenia, people who don't cope, people with trauma, people that aren't living a proper life in the way that we think it should be, so we can all get back to a capitalist reality. So I'm sort of looking at that, but I've got a lens on it where we're really trying to appreciate the beauty of the human spirit and the fact that we're all doing our best. And I think that's really important. I think the discourse has been a lot of aggression against humans or aggression against certain aspects of humanity. There's a lot of fight and there's a lot of war mentality. And I don't want to bring that into my work. I want to go, okay, fine, thank you. I appreciate all of that. Where do I sit? And where do I sit personally? And how do I clear a space? Because when you can clear a space and you can sit with someone and be very pure in intent, and so you don't have a lot of intent, and you're not trying to machinate them somewhere so that you want them fixed so XYZ, even if it's a kind desire. So that's what I'm kind of playing with. And so while you might know this material to a large extent, allow me the possibility of helping you see that a little bit more widely and a little bit more deeply for your personal orientation towards this work. Because what we do next is we go, great, that's my psychological personal interpretation, my cultural, and then we get really good at bossing the body around. So we impose order on it. We want it to get back to this. If you can get ventral vagal, then you're in a better place, etc. Instead of learning to listen to the body. And so what we're really trying to do here is listen to the body. And that's what I think I do best. So what I'm doing then is explaining the polyvagal theory and then the cranial nerves to an extent that people don't really talk about, which I think is what I do, is I bring in a whole lot of other information and allow you to really see it fully. Everything links together, everything click clacks together. But when you can understand that, oh, there's all this operations going on, you don't have to know it perfectly. And some of you know it perfectly, but you don't know this as well as you could. We can't boss it around because it's smarter than we are and it's more sophisticated than we understand. And so we get the most out of this amazing work because I submit to the intelligence of the system. I submit to the octopus, which is your internal system that's connected to wide galaxies. And so the more we submit to the intelligence of the system and we understand all these organs and fascia and blood and vessels and brain and all these things are chatting to each other all of the time, and they get constricted. And so how they chat looks like this. And then if we open it, they chat differently, and how easy it is to disrupt the vestibular system if we're not being smart. and kind and clever and aware that the system is intelligent. It's also under duress. It's also got learned patterns. If we can get that right as well, we clear some more space, and then we learn to listen. And we learn to do neuroceptive listening is one way I'm starting to talk about it, just to give it some language that people might understand. But essentially, it's being very present and that not imposing. And then what do we do next? Then we might do some movement or touch a point and see what we can have. But we know what we're playing with, and it's in there. And then there's a delicacy. And if we get all of that right, things are amazing. And we get these amazing changes because the octopus has said yes. And it's in there. So if people will go, oh, I know all this, I know all this. And I'm like, yes, but sit back just a little bit from your education and come in from a different angle. And then when you get to the exercise modules and whiz through to them if you need to, but this is why I'm putting this here, so you are mindful of why I've got this material in here. Practice them. Practice these exercises. Practice them on yourself. Practice them on people that are sturdy. Then practice them on people that are delicate. If you're working as a therapist or allied health and you want to use this, even more so, really get good at it so you have an internal understanding of what this stuff can do, how it can influence. Then go tinker with other people. And I want to reiterate, this is a basic course. This is an introduction into what I'm trying to do. The work gets more and more sophisticated as we go. And these principles need to be well understood. If you get these right, I get lots of people writing to me going, thank you, we've got so much out of this course. He's more relaxed. You know, they're doing X, Y, Z, they're more comfortable in their body, and then they're able to do a lot more. So you can elicit a great deal of change with the octopus saying yes if you get it right with this work. And then as well, there's plenty more to learn, because what I'm able to achieve in a 8-day intensive, 5 days consecutive is quite wondrous. But you have to get this stuff under your belt first. If you love it, there's more to learn. And otherwise, get really good at this, because you can change your own world, let alone the world of somebody else's, by being able to stay present to them and then offering what they just might need. So with this course, I have done that to the best of my ability. Love some feedback if you've got feedback for me, and especially if you get some amazing result, it'd be really nice to hear how you're going. So I'll be meeting you, and we'll be going through the modules together. Send me any questions in that you wish, and I hope that it's really useful to you. It's always my wish, and kind of my gift that I've been given to create this and share it. Again, I do it to the best of my ability. There's always room for improvement with anything. But this is a very good foundation for you to get started. See you soon.